Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 16th to the 30th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Capricorn. November 16th to the 30th, 2021, Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Goodness. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. At our root, at the bottom we have our root itself. The left-hand side we have our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the mage, the magician, and we have the lover. So if we have Gemini energy within our natal chart, this is coming through very powerfully at our root, or if we have Geminis within our lives, they're going to be affecting our root more so than others. Then we have the Two of Wands. We're looking at a new way of embracing the world. And we have the Hierophant. So if we have Taurus energy within our natal chart, that's coming through, again, very strongly in our inner self. But also if we have Taurians within our lives, they're coming through very strongly, affecting our inner selves. The Five of Cups, change your mind, change your life. And the Six of Wands, not the Six of Wands, the Six of Swords. We're able to move forward. We're able to gather up our information and really head in a direction that we want to. With the Queen of Swords, this is again air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is amplifying that Gemini energy. Also, if we're born on the cusp with Aquarius, the Aquarius aspect of our personality is going to come out very powerfully in the public arena self. And then we have the Magician once again. So we have the Magician twice here. There's a bit of magic to us during this time. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. When the magic shows, let it shine. Let it absolutely shine within us. Now let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We have the Lord. Now this is Aries energy. We don't really like being told what to do during this time. We might find that we have a bit of a conflict with our boss or with somebody who is saying, well, it has to be done my way. And we're going to be thinking, why? Why does it have to be done your way? Why can't it be done my way? Or why can't we compromise? Or why can't we look at things in a different way? So this is going to be something that is rather interesting and rather intense during this time. Now let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is universal light. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. This is the light of the universe shining within us, shining around us, guiding us forward, and really amplifying who it is that we are. So this is going to be a time where we are, again, just a little bit blessed, a little bit, having a certain extra something in us that we might not be able to name. People might say, "Ooh, what's new about you?" And we'll think, nothing, absolutely nothing. Like, what are you talking about? But there's a beauty to us that we have to embrace, that we have to move forward in. And Spirit's saying, have to. It's such a powerful part of ourselves that if we kind of say, oh, there's nothing, and hide away and not utilize these talents, we're going to find ourselves being a little bit resentful during this time. So do be aware of that. Okay, so this is a tarot and astrology reading. So let's start with the astrology and see how it correlates to what the tarot has to say. On the 16th of November, we have the Sun sextile Pluto, which brings with it this magnetic attraction to what we need. And we're going to find that we're very charming during this time. We're going to find that things kind of start to align on the 16th of November. We're like, oh wow, what's going on here? We are driven, we are determined, and we feel almost unstoppable. On the 17th of November, Mars is opposite Uranus, which brings with it exciting and unexpected energy that also has us inclined towards risk taking. So this could be a day where we'll think, oh, I'd never do that, but now I'm going to jump for it. But we also have to be mindful, because there's a rebellious streak to this time where we can think, you know what, I need to show that person. I need to prove to myself and prove to them. So we have to be mindful. What are we proving to us, and what are we trying to prove to somebody else when we make our decisions, when we're moving forward? And I do apologize if you can hear my nephew in the background. On the 18th of November, Mercury is trine Neptune. Now, this is a day that brings with it an alluring energy that has us more attractive, that has us really embracing ourselves more and more. Our imagination is on point during this time, and we can start to bring to life what we have dreamed, what we deeply desire. This is a great date night, or if we're looking to meet somebody or on a blind date, the 18th of November, we really shine. Also, the 16th of November, a really great day for that as well. The 19th of November has Venus trine Uranus, which brings with it an energy of wanting to feel free, wanting to feel unique, and wanting to be social, wanting to be able to go out there and connect and just be a part of things. Also on the 19th of November, we have the full moon in a lunar eclipse, and the full moon is in Taurus, and a separate video will be done on this. On the 20th of November, Mercury is squared Jupiter, which brings with it this clear open mind, like this clear sense of what I need to do, how I need to move forward, what it is that I desire, where it is that I want to be. It's like all of a sudden we start to see things really quite succinctly and laid out in the way, Capricorn, that we really like. It's like, okay, this is like almost a spreadsheet of what I need to do and how I need to move forward. The only downside to this time when we have this open mind and this beautiful clarity is that we lack discipline. So it makes it tricky to utilize all our talents during this time, because we'll be like, tomorrow. But tomorrow we won't really have that same spark to us, because on the 21st of November, we have Mercury sextile Pluto, which is a very serious time for absolutely everybody. We are discovering a lot of who we are if we slow down. If we slow down, if we follow our intuition, if we connect with ourselves, we can start to see ourselves really start to shine. But we're not going to take the time to slow down and connect. We're going to be like, well, it's serious. I have to keep on moving forward. I have to do this. I have to do that. And Spirit's saying here, why not take time to connect with you? On the 23rd of November, we have the third quarter moon in Virgo. This lets us know who we are. Virgo says, honor who you are. Embrace yourself. You are enough. And we can find that a little bit tricky to deal with and connect with. On the 28th of November, the Sun is conjunct Mercury, which is the best time for communication and for bringing forward important ideas to the surface. All of a sudden, we start to awake to a lot of the ideas that have been simmering within us. Now, this is fantastic, but what happens here is that everybody's so much in their own heads. This is a terrible time, even though we're blessed with communication, for actually listening to one another. We can be really frustrated because we'd be like, oh my gosh, I have something so important to share with you, and yet nobody's listening. Like, nobody's tuning in. what the heck is going on? And everybody else feels the same way. So there's a slight level of agitation throughout everything. So just be aware of this. On the 29th of November, Mars is trine Neptune, which makes us suave and sexy and creative. Another great date time for us, or just a sense of really embracing our passion and who we are. We are astoundingly passionate during this time about what we believe in, about activism, about, embracing our voice and really standing up for who we are and where it is that we want to be. We can be astoundingly motivated and motivate other people as well as ourselves through our spiritual courage, through this way that we connect with our hearts. On the 30th of November, Mercury is sextile Saturn. Now, this is important because we are ruled by Saturn in the zodiac, in the planetary alignment. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So this brings with it focus and the ability to see the big picture. And we love that, Capricorn. When we can see the big picture, when we can look at everything and not just see the individual threads of the tapestry being woven together, but see what it is to become, we feel at home within ourselves. So this can be a very powerful time for us. We are also astoundingly single-minded, so we have to be aware of this, and obsessively goal-oriented. So again, being aware of this helps us learn, helps us to embrace, helps us to really understand who we are and where we're headed. Now, the 30th of November has a couple of things happening. Not only do we have Mercury sextile Saturn, which is us, shining forward, we have on the 30th of November, Venus sextile Neptune, which makes us passionate, romantic, and sensual. We have this need for our relationships, and our relationships are astoundingly important to us, whether they be romantic relationships or personal relationships. It doesn't really matter. What we're going to see here is that we love being around the people that we love, that we feel connected to, like-minded people, but also people who elevate our souls. We are going to be highly creative on this date also. Now, again, on the 30th of November, we have the Sun sextile Saturn. Again, we come through very powerfully because we're ruled by Saturn, and this brings with it a sense of identity through leadership. We love leadership. Capricorn, we love leadership. Sometimes a little bit too much, so we have to be mindful of that to kind of like pull things back and be like, okay, I can chill a little bit and let somebody else, move forward this way. So being cognizant of that is very important. And we're going to find that it's through leadership, it's through this embrace of our own personal skills and personal desires that we are embracing our voice, that we are moving forward into our glory. So what happens here is that on the 30th of November, a few things are amplified. It's either that we move to the camp of Mercury sextile Saturn, or we move to the camp of Venus sextile Neptune, enhanced by the Sun sextile Saturn. So the Sun sextile Saturn is going to enhance whether we are more business inclined, whether we are more big picture inclined, or whether we are more relationship inclined on this day. Because we are ruled by Saturn, we're going to kind of lean more towards business. Now, this can make it a little bit difficult if a partner or if friends or family members or, people in our lives are ruled more by Venus or by Neptune, and they're going to find themselves really being more romantically oriented, or even if they just tend to have a proclivity towards leaning towards the Venus aspect of things or the Neptune aspect of things, where passion and romance and sensuality and relationships are at the core of their being. So we can find that we kind of clash with people on this day where it's like, well, I have to get this done. I have so much of a vision, and they're going to be like, but I really want to be with you. Like, it's important that you're here. So we can feel pulled in different directions, and we can feel guilt about whatever we choose. So just be mindful of that during this time. If we kind of circle this day on the calendar and say, listen, I know if we can have this conversation with the people in our lives, with the people who are really important to us, like, I know I'm going to be more business oriented on this day, and it might not be what you need at this moment, but it is what I need. And so for the first half of the day, I'm going to designate it to work, and the second half of the day we can designate it to our relationship and ourselves and that connection. We can find that to be very helpful. So just be aware of that, and also to know that our passion is kind of going to bubble over into things, and so that we might not be able to stop talking about work or stop talking about what we're creating or the bigger vision of what we have. And that person who's more inclined towards our relationships, might have to give us friendly reminders to be in the moment, but also has to respect that that's where we are right now. And so to honor that as we honor them. So it's going to be a bit of a balancing act, and we could actually find it a little bit tricky. So do be aware of this. The Magician comes through at our root. As above, so below. As we believe it, so it becomes. This is going to be a time where our mind is so powerfully important. What we think, what we're, the narrative within our own head, this is going to really play itself out in the waking world, even if we think that it doesn't have a place here. We might not know that we're a little bit sad or a little bit overwhelmed or, whatever it is, because our hearts are moving forward from something where we have to change our point of view of things. So we're having to change the way that we look at things, change the way that we're connecting with ourselves to then move forward to where it is that we want to be. And we have to realize that narrative within our own emotions and our own selves is moving us forward, is really designated to us the bigger picture of what we want. As we stand before the altar of our existence, we need to claim the elemental power of us, the fact that we stand on the earth, the fact that our lungs are filled with air, the fact that, the ocean runs through our body in the form of our blood, and also that we need water desperately to survive. Add to this the fire to warm us and also the passion that rages within us human beings. This is going to be a time where we see ourselves maybe more primordially than we have before, but also more in alignment with the way that we need to move forward and the place that we need to be. We might actually find ourselves connecting. So what's so interesting, as I was saying all of this, I have a huge connection to the Virgin Mary. I was born Catholic or raised Catholic, I don't know. But, whether that's important or not, or relevant or not, I have this huge attraction to the Virgin Mary and have my whole entire life. At the age of 16, I decided to designate my life to her because, I don't know, it just sounded like a really good idea. And here, I just see something like that coming forward. It can be that we have this experience that says, I'm stepping forward in this light and in this way. I'm embracing who I am, and I'm not shying away from it. We can say that, okay, well, if you are, if you've designated your life to the Virgin Mary, how can you be doing the tarot? But this is how Spirit speaks through me. And if it was to be, behind convent walls, that would have been another way that I would have expressed this desire within my life. But it was through this, which was a bit of a battle. But here I have the heart really shining forward. And here it's kind of like, how do we embrace this battle that is a part of us? How do we embrace the voice that is guiding us forward? And how do we do so with authenticity, with, this surrender to the highness of ourselves? And as we're doing this, we're starting to fall in love, not with what we're supposed to see, not with where we're supposed to be, but what it is that we deeply desire and deeply want and deeply need within our lives. This isn't the allure of the visual attraction. Now, yes, we are sight hunters. So as sight hunters, it makes us visually oriented. That's how we classify things as human beings. But what we're going to see here is not the illusion or delusion of what it is that we want. What we're going to see here is the beauty and the power of who it is that we are and what it is that we're connecting with and why it is that we want to connect this way and how it is that we want to move forward. And all of a sudden, we're finding that passion again because we're finding our voice. We're looking at things and saying, well, what am I attracted to? What do I want? What do I need? And it's not being egocentric or egotistical. It's really sitting there and saying, but this is my life. This is me and it's important. And so we're embracing the lovers. We're embracing falling in love with our lives. We're embracing our passion and our way forward. We're embracing who it is that we want to be, who it is that we need to be, and where it is that we are. We're looking at things not for what we're supposed to want or love or, go after in this life. We're looking for things as who we are within this life, where it is that we want to be. And it's moving us to the doors opening, looking at the world and saying, oh, wow, I can stand here. I can open the doors too, and I can see this path forward, and I can see this way to something greater, something more, something, that is, instead of something that will one day be. And so as we're opening up the doors, as we're seeing ourselves, we're also seeing what we're married to. Now, the Hierophant is the major arcana marriage card. It is the card that says to us, what is it that we have dedicated ourselves to, that we have pledged to? It's not who we're married to, it's what are we married to? Are we married to the idea of creativity within our lives? Are we married to the idea of love within our lives? And it doesn't mean romantic love. It means spreading love, embracing our hearts, opening our passions, opening ourselves, and saying, this is the beauty that is me, and this is how I get to embrace my existence. The Hierophant also has us moving towards our traditions. It is the most powerful card. You could argue, you could argue the Magician and the the High Priestess are also, like, the three most powerful cards would be the Hierophant, the Magician, and the High Priestess, in whichever order you would feel inclined to put them. But in medieval times, it was the Hierophant, the Pope, that made the decisions. And so here, as we stand before the altar of our existence, okay, as we're looking at things, we can be looking at this higher power. I do see us being very inclined towards something. Now, as we are inclined towards this something within our lives, as we're inclined towards this statement of it, we are connecting with ourselves, with our way forward, with the passion of where we want to be, of who it is that we are, of what it is that we desire within our lives, and how it is that we are moving ourselves forward. As we do this with the Hierophant, we find that there are aspects of ourselves that if we turn away from it, it's as if we've turned our backs on who we are. And different people have different ways of defining themselves. And so here we are embracing the definition of who we are, of how we're moving forward, of what it is that we're passionate about. And we find that our hearts are changing their minds and changing their whole entire lives. We find that our hearts, instead of focusing on what isn't, we turn around and we focus on what is. We focus on the love. We focus on the connection. We focus on the being. We focus on the becoming. And as we do so, we start to see this weight lifted off of us, this cloud, this darkness that has been around us. And for a lot of us, it has been, a very stressful year, most definitely, a way of finding our footing again. But also there has been just this little bit of gray tinging everything. Or for some of us, a lot of bit of gray tinging everything. And what we're seeing here is we're calling it out. And we're saying, you don't get to be wrapped around me anymore. We're not, it's not this beautiful dance that I want to dance with you. This is a sense of, I release the gray. I release the being that is taking the color out of my life. That is muting everything and muting my experiences and muting what I desire and muting my way forward. And as I do so, I have all my knowledge and all my instincts gathered to me. And I'm moving into the unknown. I'm moving into the fog, which we could say we're moving into the gray, but we're understanding that as we move into it, it's parting for us. We can see a little bit clearer, a little bit clearer, a little bit clearer. And that might be the case, that this is an intimate dance partner that parts for us as we move towards it, that moves from us as we move towards it, but we don't get to be wrapped around it anymore. And so as we take our knowledge, as we take our wisdom, divinity guides us, and we have the sacred feminine, protecting us, and it moves us to the Queen of Swords in the public arena. It's like, bam, this is me. This is what I want. This is what I need. The Queen of Swords does not play. She's not here to make everybody else feel better. She's here to cut through doubts and fears and negativity. She's here to go after what is needed. And she's here to cut through the lies and the muck and the mire, to stand in her perception of truth, to stand in her power, to stand in her being. And that's what we're embracing here. We're embracing standing in this power, standing in this warrior spirit, knowing that we are moving towards something greater than we could ever have imagined. And we're fiercely accepting the time and the diligence put into, embracing our words, embracing our deeper insight of ourselves, embracing the way that we need to move forward, embracing our dreams and ideas and, becomings. And as we do so, we stand before the altar of our existence, and as above, so below. As we believe it, so it becomes. We become who it is that we were born to be. There's a bit of magic to us in the public arena, and there's a sense of us fighting to keep that magic alive, to keep ourselves shining and sparking and moving forward within it. As above, so below. As we believe it, so it becomes. It's so important because it is the essence of our existence. We are our thoughts. Our thoughts become our reality. And so if we focus on what is feeding into our mind and how we are moving forward mentally, we focus on how we become the person that we need to be and the passion that we want within our existence. We're embracing our elemental being. We are looking at our base being and acknowledging it, yet not letting it rule our existence. And we step into who we are, what we want, and more importantly, we step into the power of becoming greater than we had ever imagined. And it moves us then to our subconscious chakra energy. not chakra energy, energy to be mindful of. And it is the Aquarius energy right here. It's the star. It's being mindful that dreams can take over reality. We need this beautiful balance because we have these two things to be mindful of. We're going to have a tendency to go to extremes. We can either be all dreams or we can be all like, fierce determination and work and focus. And we can also be attracted to people who are just so on this earthly plane that there's not a dreamer bone in their body, or people who are so much dreamers that you wish them to be a bit more tethered to the earth. So we're just going to have to be mindful of this during this time. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is flexibility. This is the sacral chakra. This is our creativity and our sensuality. This is also where all our negative energy from this life and past lives are held. So being aware that my creativity and my sensuality is held in the same place where all my trauma and all my drama is kept, which can keep me from achieving my goals and going after what I want and embracing who I am. So embracing the flexibility here is knowing how to move within ourselves, knowing how to embrace the passion of ourselves, opening up the door, opening up to what we desire, not limiting ourselves and our world is going to be absolutely important to us. It moves us to our subconscious rooted energy, which is the Hierophant. Now, this is Taurus energy coming through once again. We're looking at our roots. We're looking at what's intrinsically important to us. We're looking at our passion and our desire and our focus. We're looking at our truth, and we're walking forward in that truth. We're embracing us. We're living in the traditions of us, not the orthodoxy that we were born into or the societal expectations, but in the sense of, but this is me. And it moves us to our subconscious inner self, which is the Ten of Pentacles. Wealth that can last for generations, prosperity and success. This doesn't mean that we have to have a huge fortune to have other people inherit. What it means is that there's a prosperity that is about us, that's changing our existence, that's moving us forward, that's helping us go after what we want and where we want to be and who it is that we are. There's a sense of generational blessings coming forward. We talk about generational curses a lot and the, kind of sins of the father passed on to the sons type of thing. But what we're seeing here is that, yes, negative energy that we are raised in stays with us, but positive energy also that we are raised in stays with us. And even if it's just a glimpse of positivity here or there, we're going to see that beauty start leading us forward. We're going to see that we're touching people's lives and enhancing their prosperity in ways that we hadn't imagined. And it moves us to our subconscious emotional self, which is the Nine of Swords. We can be all in our own heads. Emotionally, we're not seeing the blessings that are around us. Emotionally, we can think, I have so far to go before I'll even become close to where it is that I want to be. And Spirit's saying here, step away from the nightmare, step away from overthinking and overanalyzing, because it will just destroy instead of building. It moves us then to our subconscious public arena self, and that's the Seven of Pentacles. Patience. Patience, because bounty is coming, gifts are coming, abundance is coming. But we have to be patient with where we are right now and know that things happen in divine time, not necessarily in our time, but tending our crops, tending, and weeding and, putting down the fresh, soil and tilling the soil and, making sure everything is healthy and well looked after. That's very important. But knowing that things are going to be heading in the direction that Spirit wants them to head in, not necessarily the direction that we want them to head in, is also going to be very important to know. Okay. All right, Capricorn. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn.